What's going on, gamers? It's your boy SolarFury, and today I'm back out here with another Clash Royale video. Super excited you guys could tune in with me today with another discussion video as we talk about a topic in Clash Royale that I feel like needs to be talked about. And the topic for this discussion video is the Elixir Golem. So many of you know, in fact most of you guys should know, that the Elixir Golem is probably one of the most polarizing cards that has been introduced in the Clash Royale. It was introduced in October with the Shocktober update, and it immediately had a crazy impact on the game, literally creating an entire new archetype, as Seth said that it probably would. And now the Elixir Golem, it went from being one of the best cards in the entire game to being kind of at the bottom of the game. Currently, the last time I checked, the Elixir Golem has only a 2% usage rate and a 53% win rate in grand challenges. So today, we're going to talk about whether or not Supercell has killed the Elixir Golem with all of the nerfs that it has received, or whether or not the Elixir Golem is still a viable option to use. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Another thing really quick, if you guys do enjoy this video and you are new to the channel, please be sure to hit that red subscribe button down below, as I make tons of Clash Royale videos like this, and I also do different deck showcases. I talk about balance changes, and I do live streams as well. So if you're looking for a good all-around Clash Royale channel, then this is the place for you. But now let's go ahead and talk about the Elixir Golem. So as I showed you guys earlier, or said earlier, the Elixir Golem really isn't doing that well in the meta. So I'm looking at Royale API on my other screen right now, and out of all the 96 cards in the entire game, the Elixir Golem is number 70 in terms of usage rates at only 2%, which is sitting in between the Dart Goblin and the Tombstone. So the Elixir Golem's pretty down there in terms of win percentages. Now its win rates though are actually pretty decent. The win rates are about 52%. Now the average win rate for a card in Clash Royale is usually anywhere between 47 and 50%. So the Elixir Golem is actually above average in terms of win percentages, which is actually pretty dang cool. So now we're going to go ahead and get into the main point of this video. This discussion video is probably going to be a bit shorter. I don't know how long it's going to be after I'm done editing, but we're going to go ahead and talk about the main point of this video, which is, did Supercell kill the Elixir Golem? Because the Elixir Golem, every balance change, it seems like something has happened to it, and that something has usually been a nerf. In fact, it always has been a nerf. The Elixir Golem has never been buffed. It's either received nerfs to its hit points or nerfs to its damage, so it has always been nerfed in balance changes. So my answer to the question, did Supercell kill the Elixir Golem? Well, yes, but actually no. So here's what I mean by this. When the Elixir Golem, during the first month of it being into the game, it was probably, if not the best card in the entire game. It had usage rates close to about 30%. It was always hovering in between 25 and 30%, and it had win rates close to 60%, which is so crazy. Like that's actually insane. Like that's about what the bomb tower has right now, 60% win rate. So it was a very, very successful card to use in Clash Royale. Although now, as we look at the stats, I told you guys earlier, it has taken a huge hit. Usage rates of only 2%, and win rates are still solid at 52%, but definitely a far cry from where the Elixir Golem used to be. So basically what I mean by yes but actually no in terms of, is the Elixir Golem dead? I'd say the Elixir Golem is dead for the general population of Clash Royale. You know, for people like me, most likely people like you guys that are watching this video, I would say the Elixir Golem really isn't a viable option, because it still has a lot of hit points between its 3 different units, but definitely not what it used to be. It definitely doesn't have as much health, which makes it a lot worse for option to use, because, you know, it can be DPS down a lot quicker by a lot of swarms like a skeleton army, goblin gang, other things like that. Although here is what I will say about the Elixir Golem. You guys know there's always the general population like us, the Elixir Golem probably isn't the best decision for, but for a lot of other win conditions in the entire game, there's always those ladder warriors. There's always those, people that just grind out, they just grind out on ladder with, classic, and they just grind, they do good at everything with certain cards, and the Elixir Golem is one of those cards that a lot of people are really good with. So the Elixir Golem is good in a vacuum. It is good if you know what the heck you're doing, because if you're playing the Elixir Golem and you don't really know what you're doing, it can be very punishable, because you're literally giving your opponent 4 elixir back, and if you misuse that, then it can be pretty dang devastating. Now, as I was talking about, there are a lot of other cards in the meta that are kind of like the Elixir Golem, where there's a lot of people that are really just high skill with it, but for the general population it may not be the best. And one of those cards, I think, is the Mortar. So the Mortar is definitely, I'd say, a high skill win condition. It used to not be. About a year ago, I don't know if you guys remember, but Mortar Bait used to be one of the most popular archetypes to use on ladder because of how free-to-play friendly it is. But Mortar Bait has definitely taken a huge decline, but there are still definitely those ladder warriors out there that are good with it. One example of that is Legend Array. He's another Clash Royale YouTuber. He has like 35,000 subscribers. You guys should definitely check him out. But his main deck is Mortar Bait, and consistently throughout every season he finishes within like the top 5,000 in the world because he has learned and mastered the art of Mortar Bait. Another card that I feel like this is the case for, and it's probably the most prominent example, is the Three Musketeers. You know, Three Musketeers, I'm looking at Royale API again. They have a lower usage rate than the Elixir Golem at 1% and a 48% win rate. Now, that 1% of people that do use the Three Musketeers competitively, I'll tell you, they are probably so good with Three Musketeers. Because if you're a good player with 3M and you know what the heck you're doing, you can easily dominate any opponent out there. But again, for the casual player, Three Musketeers probably isn't the best decision for you to make. So let's just go ahead and wrap up my points that I was making in this video. So the whole point of this video was to determine whether or not Supercell killed the Elixir Golem. And my answer to that is yes, but actually no. Yes, because the Elixir Golem isn't quite as good to use for the general population of Clash Royale, and no, because there are still those players out there that are really good with the Elixir Golem and that they know what the heck to do. So yeah, we discussed it. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. But anyway, guys, that is it for today's discussion video. As I said, this video would probably be a little bit shorter, but literally I just woke up today and I was like, this is a video I want to make because the Elixir Golem really is a controversial card, and it's one that I think needs to be talked about. So I talked about it, and here's the video. Let me know what you guys think about it. And also, as I said, if you're new here, you like what you see, please be sure to hit that red subscribe button as I make discussion videos like this. I do deck showcases every month. I predict balance changes, and I do a bunch of other stuff revolving around Clash Royale. So if you like Clash Royale, then this is definitely the place for you. But anyway, guys, this is SolarFury signing off. Peace out, guys. Have a nice day.